So here I'm going to do two things. I'm going to lay a layer of wash here. And sometimes in painting we call this a stain. We did this in watercolor, and I'm going to try to see what happens with the gouache paint. You can see I'm just doing a nice kind of even layer, putting my brush in my water and coming back in and getting a little pigment and going back and forth and back and forth, maybe to get somewhat of the same value in my stain, as we call it, all around. I'm going to let that dry. So I want a different kind of surface to work on. And this could be your final. It doesn't have to be that big. Okay. Then in another area, right next to it here, maybe I'll use the same color. I have a violet. And I'm going to lay down. Notice I took my paint right from my palette. Obviously, it's really, I like the way this feels because it feels more like oil, and that's what I like. I like watercolor too, but it feels more like oil. So I'm going to lay this stain of a heavy color down, just like what we did the other day. But now I'm making, I could call it a little painting at this time. I'm going to call it a little design. I think I'm going to do mine a little more abstract since I did my other painting in gouache. My landscape that I posted was a little bit more realistic. So here I'm taking the paint right out of the tube, or right from the tube to my palette, and I'm giving it, my paper, a nice stain of a solid color. So right now I have to wait. So I'm going to rinse my brush, dry my brush. Maybe I'm going to think of my ideas. I'm going to do something in the effect of what I saw in the videos. Maybe something like a leaf, something like circles, maybe a little David Hockney pattern. Maybe I'm thinking of the videos I saw and I'm inspired by David Hockney or Eric Carle or the other videos. So I do have to wait. I want to let it be dry to the touch, still a little wet. So I'll hold off on that until I